Welcome back to Briggs on Books, the international talk show where I get to talk to authors from all over the world every day. I spend the first part of my day reading books and then the next part of my day talking to authors, and I have the best job in the world. Look at this book, Trinity County. Amazing book. I guess we would call it science fiction. But not only do we have the book here, we also have the author, D.G. McCool. Welcome, D.G. McCool.
All right, sir. Thank you for having me.
By the way, let me put the book cover up again for a moment, and it's called Trinity County. And tell our viewers where you're located.
Yes, I'm actually in Trinity, Texas, inside of Trinity County, just north of Houston.
Now, this is a true story or a science fiction?
Well, you never know, right?
No,
With me,
I know.
it's officially it's a science fiction story.
Yeah. The government probably makes you say that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Now, tell us. Now, all of your books, are they all the same genre?
Several of them are science fiction, and some of them have the same basic theme where we have a hidden alien presence on the Earth, and in most cases, the bad guys in my books are the reptilian aliens.
Mm-hmm.
But then they kind of each one is a unique storyline.
Yes. Now, I know that, I don't know, here's a whole bunch of books by you. What's the first year you published a book?
First year it actually got published was 2021. The screen there with all the photos, that's Apple is now doing audiobooks.
Oh, I see.
So all those book covers are now on Apple Audio.
Okay.
If you like to listen to audiobooks through the Apple program.
I do. I do. Yeah, I do
All
like
right.
to listen to audiobooks, by the way. Now, are you have an actor that reads these, or how does that work?
No, in this case, no. The very first book I ever had turned into an audiobook was through Amazon, and that one I actually hired an actor and did it. But what Apple's came up with is authors who have books that are ebooks that would like to have them converted into an audiobook. Mm-hmm. Going through the company draft to digital, they're taking care of it, and they're actually using an AI voice. But I do get to pick from the menu which voice I want them to use for it.
Nice.
And they came out pretty well, considering it's not a live human actor.
Right. I wonder if those are included in my Apple subscription.
I'm not sure, but they are. If you follow any of the links on my website, they'll take you straight into each book, and then
Nice.
you can see right there. You can hear a small sample, and then it goes allows you to download it.
Oh, that's great. By the way, I have the website on the screen, sandal-writers.com. sandalwriters.com. Also have your Instagram on the screen, and I'll go to the website, see if I can figure out how to download them without my kids
There's
having to help me.
Sure, there's a separate tab that says audiobooks at the top of the screen, and if you click it, you go in, you hit a hot link, takes you straight into whichever book you choose, and from there, and if you're using Windows, it'll allow you to run it through iTunes, so you can listen to your Apple audiobooks through iTunes on your Windows computer.
Excellent, excellent. Now, by the way, here is the cover of Trinity County. This is your latest book, is that right?
This is correct.
I got a little scared, kind of disturbed, when I just read the description of the book. Can you tell us a little bit about the book and what happens?
Sure. Let me step back for just a second. That particular book, before I had a book called Future Conquest that we spoke about, and it was written in 2010 by my co-author Stephen Meeks, and we waited until 2022 to actually release it as a published book. The second book that he and I wrote was this one here, and at the time it was really an untitled manuscript. It also set in the wind, and last year I decided to wipe the dust off it, complete the hooks that put it where it's currently located, which is involved with the name. But the overall book is basically, there's a thing in just east of St. Louis called the Karaoke Mounds. Some people don't even know they exist. They're basically dirt pyramids in the U.S., and they're large pyramids. And they've dug around the bases, and they found ancient ruins of the people at the time, and they disappeared around 900 A.D. But in my book, some of the archaeologists happening on the west side of the Mississippi River in St. Louis, they discover a crypt, and they go into it, and of course it's got alien artifacts, and through this they recover some alien DNA, and the people put together a team that then contracts the government. They work through the U.S. government, and they're able to use the DNA and start doing gene splicing with humans as a test. And it starts out in St. Louis. Well, as things develop, they try to find more remote location, And Trinity County, like I said, it's an hour and a half north of Houston, kind of in the quiet side of the east side of Texas, in the woods, in the heavy piney woods. And they build a secret government lab. And then it moves here. Things go awry and things happen. And then our friends, the reptilian aliens, get involved when they see humans experiment with alien DNA, and it kind of goes that route.
Yeah, I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Right, exactly.
That's right. Now, I talk to authors all day, and so many authors and readers, and this is such a popular genre right now.
Right.
And like I say, is this real? Is this real? Because you're hearing stuff like this, whispered around the country, that maybe some things like this
Sure.
are going on.
In almost all my science fiction books, I have a lot of realism, and then I fill in the blanks with the science fiction what if.
Right.
And then in this case, it's also the same. I quote real locations in Trinity County where the story's taking place. At one point in the story, they move further south, and they're actually right next to where the SpaceX launch system is, down by Brownsville, Texas.
Wow.
That's their second hidden location. And so I do incorporate a lot of times local places, real things. I do a lot of research so that I try to get it right on the first try as far as the technology, the locations. If somebody goes and eats at a certain restaurant in that area,
Yes.
my characters may stop and get a bite there and things like that.
Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. And that's how you suspend disbelief, which is the most important thing in
Right.
science fiction. It's got to get people believing it. And
Right.
that's amazing. Now, I want to get back to this. I think you said your first book was out in 2021?
Yes, sir.
That's just like
the Dark World series, which we've covered previously, initially the first book launched as True Dreamers, and then as I developed the series, it became rebranded as Messenger Dreams, which you've shown before. And that whole series is, again, a case of, we go back to the ancient reptilians coming to the earth, followed by the Anunnaki, and the Anunnaki create mankind, and then it kind of jumps into the current time, and it goes through a whole series of things going on with the shadow government, New World Order, aliens in disguise as humans, and that whole series goes that route. And there's some magic in there, and astral projection, remote viewing, and some things like that. So.
And my point is, Dale, is that's just like, I think, 4 years' time. Is that right?
Yes, I did. Yes, absolutely. I've got 15 books, I think, total out. And the first actually was published, 4 years ago. Two of those, as we stated, was actually written in 2010 and 2011 and just sat dormant. In 2021, I went ahead and published the first book, which had also been written by myself without Stephen. And then since then, yes, I'm retired from my 9 to 5, so now 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, I pretty much write.
And by the way, the slide I keep popping up here, this isn't all of your books. These are the ones that Apple has put out on audiobooks.
Exactly correct, yes.
Now, let me ask you this. A big portion of our audience is people that are writing books that haven't finished writing a book. And that's why we love to bring authors on and kind of say, how do you do this? How do you do that? And by the way, there's millions out there that have started writing books, and getting to that end and putting the pencil down and taking the next step is giant. And congratulations to you for that volume. And
Thank you.
Can you tell us what your discipline is? Do you get up every morning at 6 o'clock, or what do you do?
Right. Yeah, no, I do get up every morning, normally around 7 a.m. here in the Central Time, and do breakfast, walk the dog type thing, make sure I got my short honey-do list completed for the wife, and then I lock myself in our third bedroom is my Sandell writer's office, and it's nothing in here but book-related. And normally, like you say, I'm always thinking of 2 or 3 books at the same time. Right now, I've got 2 that are deep into writings, and one of them is a second ghost story that my daughters had previously released. It was the Ghosts of Holleridge we spoke about in the past.
Yeah.
I helped ghostwrite their books, and their second book is getting ready to come out in a month or so. So yes, I will work, and sometimes I'll lose track of time. It'll be late in the afternoon, and I'm still working. But like I told you before, I'm not really an outliner or a pantser. I'm a combo. I write those. Remember the prologue and analog of a book, and if it's a series, I kind of go through how many 2 or 3 books I think it'll be. Kind of do it that way. You could call it an outline. Then I go back and I pantser it, chapter to chapter, to try to get it to meet up at the end. And if something tweaks on either end, I fix that. I do a lot of the we talked about audio to text, because I see my books like visions, like a movie, and I just repeat what I'm seeing on screen. And then after it's on text, then I run it through all the different programs to clean it up and make it better. And then I play it back to myself so I can hear the mistakes your eyes will fool you.
Yes.
You'll read through a mistake several times, but when you play the audio of it back, your brain hears it and you stop and you fix the problem. That's kind of what I do. And in an average book, it takes me about 3 months on one of the bigger books. And for me, I'm not one of these huge word writers. My bigger books are 60 to 70,000 words.
Right.
And books like this one is like a 20,000 word book, the Trinity County book.
Yeah, just between us, I like the 20,000 word books. So.
Yeah, they're novellas, and they're quick. In 2-3 hours, you can read a book or listen to it.
Yeah, and whatever process you have, it's really working for you.
Yes.
And you're getting the books out there. Now, do you just create the story just at your keyboard, or when you're going through your day, walking around the woods or whatever, are you writing the book?
Yeah. Yeah, what we talked about previously, too. I have a product called Remarkable. It's a tablet. Some people have seen them. They're like an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
I keep that with me a lot, and what I will do is I will jot down, because, to your point, I'm driving down the road and suddenly a piece of a book pops in my head, and I will grab the tablet, jot it down, make myself notes. With the Remarkable, it ties in through Wi-Fi, and so I can send that over to myself, convert it into actual text from written hand script, and then merge it into what I'm working on. But yeah, I'm like that, where whenever the moment hits you, because as a writer, it's like watching a movie, and you don't want to stop in the middle of a movie to take a break, in real life. And then when you're writing, I have to explain that to my wife and remind her sometimes that she's ready to go do dinner, and I'm in the middle of a really something horrific scene, and I'm like, whoa, wait, but maybe we'll take a break, and I go eat, and while I'm eating, more is going on, and then so I've actually will dictate myself a text to my cell phone and send it back to myself. Yeah. So when I get home, I can pull that up and go, oh yeah, that was the storyline, So.
Yeah, so there's so many tools these days for authors. There's
Yeah.
nobody who should have an excuse like, my hand hurts from writing so much. There's so many tools that help get it done. So, Dale, you're an inspiration to me and to our viewers as well, that you're able to be so productive and exciting. It's just so exciting what you're doing and what you're accomplishing.
Thank
Any
you.
talks of any movies or TV series out of your books?
Oh, only for people who read my stuff. I'll get comments. Will say this would make a great movie or TV, and I'm thinking I kind of think that also, but no, I've not had. You have these companies that reach out from the sidelines and promise to do things for you, but I pretty much ignore them because most of them are just trying to make a dollar.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities now because everybody's doing series, Netflix and Amazon and Apple TV, and so I'm hearing from a lot of authors that a lot of things are happening in those circles. But you're ready; you got all the material there to make.
I'm here whenever one of them wants to reach out, whatever genre they want, and like we spoke about before, I have nonfiction books like the one on the Modern Civil War Survival Guide. We've spoken about it.
Yes.
Kind of tells you how to prep in case things go south and how to be ready for something like that. And I've got a dog manual on how to care for the health and feeding of your dog. So I've kind of got all across the board. But of the 15 books, about I think 11 of them are all purely science fiction.
Well, for our viewers, you better get that Surviving the Modern Civil War Survival book, is it?
Yes, sir.
Because that may be coming.
That's actually been my best seller. It really is. It's a consistent seller.
That's great. That's great. Next time, I want to talk about that again next time. We'll talk about it some more. So,
all right.
Dale, we're out of time. Of course, you and I always go over, but any last thoughts for our viewers on your books or any subject in the world?
Just what I always kind of close with. If you're a new writer and write what you want to write, don't let anybody tell you can't write on a topic that is what you'd like to create. Get it down on paper. Don't rush out to the first guy with an ad on the internet who'll probably take your money. Join different groups on the web and kind of learn your craft a little bit, and then you'll get it published.
You'll get it published, yes. It's a great time for book writers to get published. So thanks, Dale McCool. You've done it. Congratulations. And,
all right, sir.
You serve as our inspiration. And for our viewers, don't go anywhere because we'll be back with more authors interviews.